When storms roll in, safety is everything. For Phillip and Amy Baker, having their own storm shelter at home has been a game changer.
It makes me feel a lot safer because before they'd have to go across the next door to get their basement. And a lot of times they're running when it's raining, they're running when there's lightning falling, heavy wind. And a lot of those times it's been my wife and my daughter having to take 2 grandkids and a dog, and it can be a lot.
Phillip, a firefighter, says peace of mind is priceless, especially when he's away at the station and the storms hit home.
I am one of the thousands of people that have weather anxiety. And so when that warning comes out, we just grab everybody. It's chaotic. I mean, it's crazy. You know, kids might be crying because they're tired or they're hungry. I have an autistic son, so he might be throwing a fit, and having a meltdown. And our dog, he might be, wanting to go to the bathroom at the, time we're trying to get in there. It's crazy. But we'll grab everybody and we'll get in there and we'll shut that thing, and we are just ready for anything at that point.
Pike County isn't new to tornadoes. Since 1950, it's had at least 10 of them. Most were on the weaker side, a couple of EF0s, a few EF1s, but 2 of them reached EF3 strength. In 2023, everything changed. On January 12th, a major outbreak swept across north and central Georgia, spawning 14 tornadoes, some long track and powerful. Pike County alone saw at least 4 separate tornadoes that day. Survey teams for the National Weather Service found something rare: multiple tornadoes on the ground at the same time, even crossing paths. One touched down near Highway 362 and quickly ramped up to an EF1, snapping trees and cutting across roads. Then it intensified to an EF2 as it moved toward Nunnally and Bethany roads, damaging homes and leaving a path of destruction behind. Altogether, 18 people were hurt, and for many, the fear and anxiety still lingers. Just as the Bakers, their storm shelter is stocked with snacks, toys, and even lavender diffusers to help keep everyone calm when the skies turn dark.
So because we have small grandchildren, I have this back wall here just with magnets and puzzles. I've got coloring books and crayons. I've got their writing tablets and just different things to keep them occupied, because if they're happy, then I'm less stressed.
The shelter is FEMA rated and bolted right into their garage slab, built to withstand winds over 200 miles per hour. The company that built the shelter even tested it during an EF5 tornado.
There's 11 10-inch bolts that go into the concrete slab to make it that safe.
But not everyone has access to a personal storm shelter. Meteorologist and storm shelter advocate Dr. Craig Cece says that's a growing concern, especially in places like North Georgia where shelters are rare.
North Georgia does get significant tornado events from time to time. It's more challenging to deal with a very large metropolitan area to make a tornado shelter plan, but there is definitely the demand.
Dr. Craig Cece created FindYourTornadoShelter.com, mapping shelters across the country to help families find safe places fast.
You want to make sure you make your plan well ahead of time, because a car is never a safe place during a tornado. So you want to make sure you are there well before the tornado hits, wherever you're going to be, whether it be in your home in the interior room, if you're lucky enough to have a basement, or if you go to a public building.
So far this year, we've had a higher than normal amount of tornado warnings. This graphic shows all of the warnings issued between January 1st and late May. And you can see there is an overlay of warnings just south of the metro area, as well as in northwest Georgia. Several polygons covered the same counties over and over again. Pike County has only had 2 tornado warnings since the 2023 outbreak, and they were both this year. For the Bakers, this shelter has already proven its worth, especially during a rogue tornado warning for their county in April, which was 2 days before we spoke to the family and just north of their home.
And that was probably one of the scariest times, because we didn't know where it was. We didn't have a chance to watch beforehand. And so we ran in here at the last second. It could have been in our backyard, and we had seconds. And when we got in here, you could hear the wind and the garage was moving. But I felt safe. I knew we were okay, because this can withstand an EF5 if we ever, had one of those.
Storm shelters may not take away the fear, but they can offer something even more powerful: safety.